Tonight's ESPN Plus game is brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. Welcome back to the Bradley Center as we start the regular season for Marquette and IUPUI. Lights off, fans on their feet, starting lineups taking place. And here they are for you folks on TV. Hill, Patterson, Montgomery, Avery, Pettiford for IUPUI. Keep an eye on Hill, the preseason conference player of the year in the Summit League. James, McNeil, both all Big East selections here in the preseason. Matthews, Fitzgerald, and Burke. Dwight Burke will get the start, the junior for Marquette.
There's almost too many guards to talk about for Marquette. We talked about James and McNeil already in the open, but Wesley Matthews, from what I hear from the people at Marquette, may have had the best offseason of anybody in their entire program. He has really taken some.
Don't forget about David Kubian, who comes off the bench, and Maurice Acker, who transferred from Ball State.
It's incredible. This has got to be the best five-man guard rotation in the country. You could argue the best three-man as well. There's only a few schools, Kansas may be one of them, who have as good a three starting guards as Marquette.
Bringing back memories of a couple of years ago in the four-guard set that Villanova featured each and every night.
I think that's what Marquette fans want to think about, is doing that. Tom Crean said they've got to rebound better if they're going to pull the four-guard rotation off, but they do have some good rebounding guards in Matthews and McNeil.
Yeah, Matthews and McNeil, actually the two best rebounding guards in the Big East a year ago. Matthews at just over 5 boards a game. McNeil just under 5 rebounds a game. There you see the starting lineups for Marquette. Let's hear from Dominique James, the leader of this Marquette squad, as he takes a look at this year's Marquette Golden Eagles.
I feel like it's going to be a great opportunity for us, core group, you know, to really lead this team. You know, that's one of our main focuses, getting a win in March. You know, since I've been here, we've had 20-plus seasons in both seasons, but obviously we haven't got any wins in March.
Yeah, they want to change things when it comes to NCAA tournament time. A couple of first-round ousters the last 2 seasons, last year to Michigan State and then 2 years ago to Alabama.
We should take this time to mention Scott Christopherson, the much-heralded Wisconsin Prep Player of the Year, just announced today he will miss at least some portion of this season. A torn meniscus actually happened, sounds like, as an 8th grader, which is just incredible.
Well, you played the game. How does a guy tear his meniscus and play for another 4 or 5 years?
I was slow enough. I didn't need to tear any meniscus.
Head coach for IUPUI, that guy, Ron Hunter. Last season became the school's winningest coach, 2-time Mid-Con Conference Coach of the Year. What a job he's done putting that IUPUI basketball on the map. On the other side, they know who he is in this town. He's become as popular as anyone in the sporting world in the city of Milwaukee. Tom Crean, 9th season as Marquette's head coach. In 8 seasons, Marquette's averaged over 20 wins a year, won a conference title, made 7 postseason appearances. 2003 went to the Final Four under Crean's direction.
Well, Lou, let's talk about the focus for tonight. For IUPUI, they want to play 5-on-3 on the defensive end. They want to stop McNeil, Matthews, and James and make the other 2 players beat them. So it's going to come down, if they can do that, it may come down to whether or not Dan Fitzgerald can get hot. Of course, if they can't stop 5-on-3, Marquette's big 3 players, this game may be over quick.
Burke to James, and Marquette starts with the basketball. Golden Eagles in the white, IUPUI wearing the black with the red trim.
Up zone for IUPUI.
They'll throw about 9 different defenses at Marquette tonight.
Exactly, and they'll change it up very often. After free throws, after timeouts, they'll change up the defense.
James for 3, 2 feet behind the line. Goes over the backboard. Basketball will go to IUPUI.
There's a lot of talk about shot selection for Dominique James, whether or not he changed his point of release on his jump shot or jumped higher. Coach Crean said it was more about shot selection. Taking better shots is all he needed to worry about.
Shot only 38% from the floor last year, 27% from three-point range. Montgomery makes his move, pulls up, defended by Fitzgerald. Pettiford thought about it. That's Patterson. He'll shoot the 3 and hit. Gary Patterson knocked down 56 triples a year ago. Matthews takes it down at the other end for Marquette.
That's a quick answer. Patterson with the 3. He was actually the runner-up to his teammate Montgomery. this year. They've got a great three-guard rotation, IUPUI does.
McNeil almost came up with the steal, knocked out of bounds. Will stay with IUPUI. 3-2. Jaguars in front thanks to the Patterson three-pointer.
Well, Marquette, being so strong at the guard position, will look to push the ball up. And there he is, Wesley Matthews, a guy we talked about. Everyone thinks made the biggest strides this offseason, getting out in transition.
But you talk to people that see Matthews on a regular basis, and they feel that he is yet to really fulfill his potential still.
Well, I think the feeling is that he's just going to continue to get better over his 4 years here at Marquette.
George Hill knocks down the two, leading scorer for IUPUI. NBA scouts salivating watching this guy. I question his size, 6'2", 180, but if he can develop into a nice point guard in the Summit League, who knows what the future can hold. Fitzgerald loses it. Patterson bodied there by Fitzgerald. The foul is on the fifth-year senior, his first.
Well, watch the way Marquette is going to guard the ball screens. You see Fitzgerald just a little late to step out. That's what Marquette calls blitzing the ball screen. They're going to blitz some screens on the top of the key, and others they will, and the blitz will be a trap. On others, what they'll do is have the guard try and force the ball away from the screen, not even let him take the screen. That time Fitzgerald just a little late.
Pettifor made his move. Went off of Fitzgerald's heel, so it will stay with IUPUI. 2:13 into the basketball game. 5-2. Visitors in front. Down low. Avery into the game for IUPUI. Backing his way in. The one-hander doesn't fall. Burke pulls down the rebound. Burke not much of a scorer on the floor to rebound.
Good job by Fitzgerald staying behind Avery down low. He can match up with him. Avery undersized, only 6'7", but very skinny for a forward.
James defended by Montgomery.
More matchup zone from IUPUI. They want to stay out of foul trouble. Their three can play with Marquette's three guards, but when it gets to the bench, that's where Marquette has the advantage.
Shot clock down to 5. Fitzgerald takes the three. Front of the rim, doesn't go. Big steal there by James. He's got a 40-inch vertical leap. Stole that basketball, thanks for that vertical leap, then comes back to the other. It up and in, his first two.
Boy, you look at him, he's so short, you think he can pass it right over, but that 40-inch vertical, as you mentioned, he just reaches up and grabs it.
Patterson, left-handed dribble, defended by McNeil. Throws up the runner, and it goes. Nice shot there by Gary Patterson. He has 5.
Patterson's a guy who actually missed most of, played through most of last season with a broken thumb.
But can't finish.
Well, that's where Marquette needs to get some production out of Burke, out of Fitzgerald, anybody down low that can help offset the strength that they have in their guard position so that the other team has to respect everyone.
Montgomery thought about the three. Real good three-point shooter. Pettifor. Cross-court pass. Hill all by himself. You cannot leave him alone like that from three-point range. He had 21 in the exhibition game against Brushy University.
Marquette's got to try and get something inside. Penetration with the pass as well as the dribble. Anything to get away from the outside three-point shot, which is what IUP wants them to take.
Fitzgerald's second three-point attempt goes.
Or they can just bury the three. Of course, that always helps, too. But Ron Hunter said he wants Marquette to take 25 to 30 three-point shots. He wants them to beat them from the outside if they're going to beat them.
Patterson looking for room. Nice crossover dribble there. Shook his defender. He can go. Pettifor, the big offensive rebound. He goes down, and the foul's called on Burke. First, the timeout on the floor. Nice start for the Jaguars. Big steal there by Dominic James, all the way to the other end, and he finished. For the George Hill. Why not from three-point range?
Welcome to the new shape of fast. Introducing the new Pontiac G6 GXP Street Edition. Pontiac, designed for action.
Okay, listen up, people. I'm talking to you, fans, coaches, and players. It's been brought to my attention that not all of you have been displaying good sportsmanship. I simply will not tolerate taunting, name-calling, cursing, or any behavior that shows a lack of respect. I want you to act with class and dignity at all times. After all, fans do look up to you. You're role models. Now let's get out there and show them how it's done.
The Stuckers have a whole army of kids. Mom said if they ever moved, we'd probably lose a congressman. And when one Stucker gets sick, they pretty much all do. So they see Columbia St. Mary's doctors. They've got their own file drawer there. People there always get infest to see a doctor. But for some reason, no one gets in there faster than the Stuckers do.
Call 963-WELL for a free physician directory or go to Digital Channel 1400.
There's no better way to watch ESPN Monday Night Football than on a big HD TV. So American TV, Time Warner Cable, and Mitsubishi are teaming up for HD TV puts you in the game giveaway. It's your chance to win this huge 57-inch DLP Mitsubishi HD TV. Plus, 1 year of Time Warner Cable HD service. Just go to any Milwaukee American store and enter to win the HD TV puts you in the game giveaway. From American, your HD TV headquarters, Mitsubishi and Time Warner Cable.
For their first 6 shots, they lead by 3 here at the Bradley Center, 10-7. First 4:57 of this basketball game. Dan Fitzgerald with the lone three-pointer for Marquette thus far. George Hill has 1 of 2 for IUPUI. Patterson the other for the Jaguars. You talked about IUPUI wanting Marquette to take between 20 and 25 threes in this basketball game. They're not a great three-point shooting team. A year ago, they shot just 33% for three-point range.
Well, they struggled a bit last year, especially at the end of the season, but they do have some great shooters. Fitzgerald can really stroke it from the outside, as well as Kubion and Acker off the bench. And that's not to mention their starting 3 guards who are some of the best in the country, so they can hit the outside shot. But the point from Ron Hunter was, let's make the other guys beat him. So far, Fitzgerald does have 1 three-pointer made, and if he can start hitting that shot, that is going to work to Marquette's advantage, because right now IUPUI is going to focus on just stopping those 3 players. Let's take a look at some defense from Marquette. Down low, you see Barrow. He's a guy who got into some foul trouble last year. As he struggled down the stretch, foul trouble was a big part of his struggles. He couldn't get on the court. In fact, that was one of the reasons that Coach Crean started with Burke tonight. He wanted to let Barrow come off the bench, let the game develop a little bit before sending him out there.
Refs discussing something at the scorers table. They were going to look at the last shot, but they've decided not to. 14:41 left to play in the first half. It was a shot clock issue.
Shot clock to 23 seconds. Jaguars ball.
And they're going to reset the shot clock at 13 seconds.
The first game for a lot of people. Still getting everything just right.
Mike Hitz, Gary Prager discussing. Pettiford and inbound. Tried to get it over to Avery, knocked out of bounds by Fitzgerald.
They like the new unis from Marquette.
I love them.
They look good, don't they?
I really like them.
Got some nice style to them.
Marquette coming off a 24-10 season a year ago, 10-6 in the Big East, where they tied for 5th. Then lost to Michigan State in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Shot clock down to 7. Pettiford puts it on the floor, takes it to the bucket, tried to shovel it over to Avery, knocked out of bounds by Dan Fitzgerald.
That was a great play by Fitzgerald. He actually made 2 stops there. First blitzing that ball screen and then recovering all the way down to knock the ball out.
Shot clock, 3 seconds. Into Montgomery, the fadeaway jumper, nothing but net.
just kills it. That was a good defensive possession for Marquette, only to have an inbounds play beat him at the end.
Austin Montgomery, senior, who averaged 14 points, 5 rebounds, got plenty of action a year ago with George Hill sidelined because of injury.
Still have seen only the matchup zone out of IUPUI. Marquette still trying to find a way to get into the middle with dribble penetration or passing penetration.
Matthews puts it on the floor. To the end. Long. Hill pulls it down. They like the basketball in his hands, but his coach, Ron Hunter, said he passed a little too much in the exhibition game the other night. We want him to shoot the basketball. Lost underneath by Avery. Back comes Marquette. How many times did he say he wanted Hill to shoot? As Fitzgerald does, that's his second three-point attempt. Don't get fooled by Fitzgerald's size. He has 6 in this game. He's 6'9", 20, but he loves to shoot the three. He had 123 three-point attempts a year ago.
Well, and that play was all created by Dominique James. He pushed the pace, got up there, and dished it off to Fitzgerald.
Hill working on James. The fadeaway. Here you go. Fitzgerald all alone again. Not that time. Long at the back of the rim, but he tracked down his miss. Oh, what a shovel pass from James to Barrow. Wow. That's Dominique James at his best.
Well, you start to see why Coach Green says everything starts with Dominique James for this team. Whether or not Fitzgerald's making the shots, Dominique James seems to be the guy that's creating everything. He got Fitzgerald the ball. He gets Barrow the ball there with a nice no-look pass. He's truly a playmaker for this Marquette team.
Foul was on Pettiford, his second. Barrow to the free throw line. Top returning rebounder, shot blocker, and shooter percentage-wise for Marquette from a year ago. They really like the way he's come along. And boy, did he have a lot of progress to make when he first came to Marquette. I mean, he didn't play high school basketball.
Yeah, and Tom Crean said, too, academically, he's made even greater strides than he has on the basketball court. He's on pace to graduate in 4 years, and he said that is probably his proudest accomplishment with Barrow.
Lazar Hayward into the game. Fitzgerald took a seat. Matthews, McNeil to the end. And Barrow on the floor for Marquette. Montgomery. That's the second fadeaway jumper from the same spot he's hit in this game.
Well, as we mentioned, Montgomery, the newcomer of the year last year. Great mid-range game. He's not a real athletic guy, but he's got a good mid-range game.
Transferred from Bowling Green into the IUPUI program. Hayward all alone for 3. Doesn't go. McNeil, right place, right time, throws it up and in.
Rebounding from the guards, a point of emphasis for Marquette. If they're going to play small, they have to get the rebounding. But you'll see there, Lou, that play started with passing penetration into Wesley Matthews as he posted up. Then they kicked it back out. That's what they've got to get every time.
The one thing that Tom Crean has stressed during the preseason, aggressiveness. The importance of fighting for rebounds, pressuring the basketball. Timeout on the floor. IUPUI, Marquette fighting down low, but it was McNeil who came up with a loose ball and threw it up and in.
Doesn't build character. It reveals it. Through the market's ups and downs, Oppenheimer Funds has proven we have what it takes to keep moving forward. Just one reason why Barron's has recognized Oppenheimer Funds for having some of the top portfolio managers in the business. Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Carefully consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Call your advisor for a prospectus with this and other fund information. Read it carefully before investing.
There's only one utility vehicle that can do it all. Only one that can outrun. Only one that can outpull. Only one that can outride. And only one that can outwork every utility vehicle out there. Only Ranger. Hardest working, smoothest riding. Test drive one today at your local Polaris Ranger dealer.
I said yes.
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 To
MPS.
My kids are safe.
So are mine. Mine too. Burbank's a great school. I feel good about Metropolitan.
Safety aides, they know the kids by name.
They ban cell phones. That was a smart thing to do.
Dedicated teachers.
Committed to creating a safe and secure environment for learning. It's not easy, but they're doing it with innovative programs.
That puts safety first.
That's why I said yes. Yes. Yes to MPS. Call 475-8448. Enroll your kids now.
Okay, if a guy in Milwaukee needs a car, and there are, say, several dealers in the area, he knows exactly what he wants and can afford. What's the smartest way he could shop for his dream car? It's easy. It's BeepBeep.com. BeepBeep.com connects you with thousands of cars from reputable local dealers. BeepBeep.com, the fastest way to shop for cars.
Visit Mike Juneau's Buick Pontiac GMC on Capitol Drive in Brookfield.
To finish at the top Economic League. Leads Marquette here at the Bradley Center, 14-13 in the first half. IUPUI's points all from the outside. What's happened defensively for Marquette?
Well, Marquette wants to get out. They want to get in those passing lanes. They've done a good job of that, but the problem has been, come the end of the shot clock, IUPUI has been able to create some opportunities for themselves.
McNeil creates another opportunity off the steal.
And the other thing about that graphic, you see Marquette able to get some points in the paint on the inside. That doesn't always mean the traditional way of back to the basket, get the ball in the post. They've got some in transition. They got another two there from McNeil, as well as second chance points off of offensive rebounds.
A couple of steals from McNeil. He led the team with 76 swipes a year ago. Offensive foul on Drew Connor. We'll go back to Marquette.
Well, Lou, you see what happened there is that pressure from Marquette pushes IUPUI so far out from the basket that Drew Connor ends up getting an illegal screen, but he's 30 feet away from the basket.
Marquette with its first lead of the night, 15-14. Matthews put it on the floor, lost it, trying to go through the lane. Montgomery all alone for three. The pass to Barrow, he lost it. He thought Matthews was going to give him the alley-oop. Kind of got caught up in the air.
Well, Marquette's got to get their matchup straight. You take a look here. Does Barrow want to lob? Everybody wants to lob these days. You go up for it, just a miscommunication.
Marquette 7 points off of turnovers so far. IUPUI with 4 giveaways. Hill finds Avery down low, off the glass. Kubian down to Hayward, who lays it up the end.
Good job by Marquette of getting out in transition, but so far this game IUPUI has not done a good job of getting back and matching up. Too many easy baskets.
Kubian almost came up with another steal there. Here comes Billy Pettiford back.
And the constant pressure out of Marquette on the defensive end. They've got 5 guards now. With Christopherson out, they've still got 5 great guards that can pressure. And it's just relentless. You can see it out of IUPUI as they're having some careless passes that are resulting in points.
Marquette on a 10-2 run over the last 4 minutes. That 5th guard now into the game, Maurice Hacker, the transfer from Ball State. He and Jarrell McNeil played together at Hillcrest High School in the Chicagoland area. Best friends. Playing together again now. Hill, his shot wouldn't fall. Barrow's done a nice job off the bench. They tried to get it to James. IUPUI sniffed it out. Montgomery had the open shot, gives it right back, and George Hill knocks down the 3. Not a great three-point shooter, but he's hit 2 trays in this game already. A couple of seasons ago when he was healthy, he took just 53-point shots. So he doesn't love the 3, but if it's there and wide open, why not? Hayward throws it up off the glass, it goes, and he'll go to the line for the 3-point play.
Well, that's what Marquette needs to do. That was some great interior passing. First they get it down into the low post. We'll take a look at it here. You see the great pass in the low post and the quick look up top to Lazar Hayward. That's exactly the way to draw it up. You cannot play against the zone without at least getting some passing penetration inside to make that zone turn. And that's how it works perfectly. A nice look by Barrow.
They're going to need some big minutes out of Hayward this year because Trevor Mbakwe The freshman who they expected great things from is lost for the season with a knee injury, and that was a serious setback for the Marquette program.
Well, Hayward's a guy who started slow last year. He missed some practice time while he's trying to get cleared and never really caught his steam going until the end of the year. I think we'll see some big steps out of him this year, and he's going to have to, as you mentioned, with IUPUI out.
He started 16 games as a freshman, Hayward did. 2017, Marquette in front. That's the freshman, Leroy Nobles. After defending Patterson, Neal comes to help out. Shot clock now down to 4. Goes out of bounds off of Patterson to Marquette. 5th turnover for IUPUI, and it is obvious Marquette's turned up the defensive pressure in a big way.
Well, and you see the guy who's doing it is Acker, the 5th guard off the bench, comes in with and he can really disrupt an offensive player. He did a great job.
Barrow finds Acker. Acker takes the 3. Hit the front of the rim. Patterson pushes it. Back to Patterson. His 3-pointer doesn't go. A foul's called on Nobles.
Jaguars foul.
For Nobles, his first.
First personal. Team foul number 4.
14 foul for IUPUI. 2 team fouls on Marquette so far.
Well, it looks like IUPUI has had some trouble matching up on the inside when Nobles has been in the game. They've gone to their bench, and that zone hasn't worked as effectively.
Season opener for Marquette and IUPUI. We're at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. IUPUI, Marquette, 3-point attempt goes down for Acker. His first 3 in the game. Luke Canellis along with Mike Kelly. Field goal shooting, IUPUI started off hot. Now 7 of 15 Marquette's picked it up of late, and they're 8 of 15 from the floor, and they lead by 6. Almost knocked away there by McNeil. He already has a couple of steals. The freshman Nobles having difficulty in the backcourt. Throws it to Patterson. Got his defender in the air and then throws it down. Actually, Pettiford with the bucket.
Well, a great effort by Marquette. That's just the ball bouncing the wrong way as McNeil was doing a great job of disrupting Nobles up top.
McNeil's all over the place. You have to appreciate the defense he plays. Big East Defensive Player of the Year a year ago. That time he shows, hey, I got some offense in me. Knocks down the 3.
Well, McNeil's a guy who averaged 15 points a game last year, was a Defensive Player of the Year Big East, and it wasn't even picked first team All Big East coming into this year.
All right, explain that to me.
I don't even know what else he has to do. He had a great season.
Pettiford, shot wouldn't fall. Hayward pulls it down with authority, brings it up court. James needs help. Knocked off of Barrow. We'll go to IUPUI after the timeout. Marquette leads by 7.
Relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tire. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin truck tires. Michelin, a better way forward.
Style, comfort, price. That's what you'll find at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. The wide variety of quality name brand clothing and footwear that can't be beat. From Norcross, Wells, Lamont, Walls, Lee, Key, Dickies, Levi's, Workin' Sport, Carhartt, and more. You'll find it all within our store. Comfortable clothing for whatever the mood. At Blaine's, you'll find the brands you trust at prices you'll The shoes that make the outfit, the jeans that fit just right. Because we know saving money never goes out of style.
Ha ha, regular size furniture, very funny. I've been a seasonally employed, vertically challenged person of northern descent for a long time, and I've never seen anything as big as Holiday Millions raffle from the Wisconsin Lottery. $10 tickets are available now for the drawing on January 1st. One person will win $1 million. 10 more will win $100,000. It's some of the best odds ever of winning $1 million bucks. What? Like the boss needs any more of these?
Neal, Lazar Hayward, 12 of Marquette's last 15 points. Golden Eagles lead by 7, 26-19. IUPUI, they haven't fared well against ranked opponents. 0-5 all time, 0-6 against the Big East, and against those ranked opponents, Mike Conley, they've lost by a margin of 21 points a game.
It's not easy going and playing those Big East opponents or those ranked opponents, but they get out there. I think they really felt this is a game they can come in and win. Ron Hunter said they wanted to play 4-minute games. Go each TV timeout, not look at it as a 40-minute game, but 10 4-minute games, and see if they could get to that last 4-minute segment at the end of the game, and they were within 5. He said, we're going to win.
George Hill leading the way so far with 8. Nobles needed help, and he walked with it. 6th turnover for IUPUI.
Where the pressure's really gotten to Nobles.
Here comes John Ashworth, freshman out of Franklin Central High School in Indianapolis. Nobles takes a seat. For Marquette, McNeil leading the way with 7. It's been a balanced attack for the Golden Eagles here in the first half. Back on the floor, he's got a couple of threes. James to the bucket.
They got numbers.
Phil finds Ashworth. Shot wouldn't go. Tracks down his miss. Montgomery. Oh wow! Nice fake. Barrow is headed to the free throw line.
Well, you see some of the skills that made him the newcomer of the year. He's got a great mid-range game, a very crafty player, an Indiana-type player, if you use those air quotes.
Well, you know what? I was speaking to their SID over at IUPUI. At Holtzblatt, you know what he said? He's a church league player.
Yeah, exactly.
Unorthodox, doesn't look great, but gets things done.
You see a little bit of why they say that right there.
Austin Montgomery, senior out of Indianapolis. Dwight Burke comes back. Barrow takes a seat. Acker to the bench. Kubian back for Marquette. Nice job by Barrow. Tom Crean, 3rd winningest coach all time here at Marquette, behind only Al McGuire and Bill Chandler.
IUPUI stays in the zone.
Shot clock down to 7. Matthews tried to get it to James. Hill with the steal. Throws it down the court to Avery. Goes out of bounds. It's a bad turnover, and that's exactly what Ron Hunter is telling the leader of his team, George Hill. We're trailing by 5. You can't give it away like that.
No, you've got to value possessions. Now, I know IUPUI wants to get up and down. They want to get some quick shots, but at the same time, you can't throw the ball away. Good look.
Matthews all alone for 3. In and out.
Well, that dribble penetration creates so much, whether it be for the player or if he's able to kick it out.
And Marquette's already taken 10 three-pointers in this game. Surprised they're settling for that 3-point shot as much as they have so far?
Well, not so much. I mean, they're not exactly settling. They're getting good looks for it, and it's exactly what Ron Hunter wanted to do. I mean, if a team's going to give you the 3-point shot, you've got to try and knock them down. Take a look at the slip with George Hill. Good defense by James, but nonetheless, if you're getting those 3-point looks, you do have to take them. I haven't seen a lot of bad 3-point shots. I've seen some early in the possession 3-point shots, but they've all been good looks.
James over to Fitzgerald. Marquette's 4 of 11 from 3-point range. IUPUI 3 of 7. Matthews off the glass.
Well, there's the thing that Tom Crean talked about. You can always get that 3-point shot. Just don't take it early, because when you work the ball around, a guy like Matthews inside working the lane, some better opportunities.
Matthews scored in double figures in 14 of 16 Big East games a year ago. They're expecting big things out of Wesley Matthews this season. Montgomery pulls the trigger just inside line. Pettiford with a nice follow-up. First two for Pettiford. 5-point game. Kubian in and out with the three-point attempt. Pettiford pulls down the miss. Ron Hunter wants to slow things down for IUPUI.
Well, they want to run a set play. Let's see who they want to work the ball to.
They get it to Avery, down low, puts it on the floor, and then puts it up and in.
Nice play. They faked that ball screen as Fitzgerald was going to try and blitz. We talked about that earlier, jumping that ball screen. Instead, Avery slips that screen, doesn't set it, and breaks to the basket. Avery, one of 2 6'7" players as sophomores, are contributing to this IUPUI team.
Crane with the timeout. 28-25, Marquette in front here at the Bradley Center, and there's that defense that they love here in Milwaukee.
Well, when you've got 5 really strong guards, perhaps the best 5-guard rotation in the country, you're going to have some pressure. That's what Marquette's tried to do today. You see them ball hawking. You saw Dominique James getting up and deflecting that pass, and then converting it into transition is going to be one of the things that Marquette has to focus on. They've got the quickness. They've got the fresh legs off the bench. There's no need to reserve yourself or worry about playing a zone because they've got the bodies to do it.
The identity of the Marquette basketball team, according to their head coach, Tom Crean, defend, rebound, and share the basketball. They do that so well. A year ago.
That's not a bad 3 for any team in the country.
No, that's what every coach strives.
Defend, rebound, and distribute the ball. That's pretty good.
Last year, opponent just 42% from the floor against Marquette. And despite being outsized in many games, Marquette still out-rebounded most of its opponents. Barrow knocks down the 2. He has 3 in this game.
Nice job by Barrow, flash in middle of the lane. No one around him, just no respect at all for his offensive game. He's got to knock down that shot.
He's gotten better every year, Usman Barrow. Patterson throws up the 3. Woo! The body English into the bucket. Patterson with 8. IUPUI hanging around. Cut the deficit to 2. Kubian's 3 falls. David Kubian, sophomore from Venezuela.
He's a definition of a zone buster. That's his role. When they're playing a zone, that's the role for David Kubian, to get in there and hit those outside shots when he's open.
Pettiford's 3 wouldn't go. Hayward tracks down the miss. Farrell back to the bucket, spins around Pettiford, draws the foul. Second foul on Pettiford. 15 foul. Timeout on the floor. Marquette leads by 5.
When it's people who do the right thing, they call it being responsible. When it's an insurance company, they call it Liberty Mutual. Responsibility. What's your policy? Liberty Mutual.
Right. Oh. Damsel in distress. Watch and learn. The Wizard. Little help, miss? I got it.
Freak. You can't always be smooth, but your beer should be. With a specially lined can to seal in the taste, Keystone Light is always smooth, even when you're not.
Hey, my man, you know where the chips are? Let's get you home.
The Stuckers have a whole army of kids. Mom said if they ever moved, we'd probably lose a congressman. And when one Stucker gets pretty much all do. So they see Columbia St. Mary's doctors. They've got their own file drawer there. People there always get in fast to see a doctor. But for some reason, no one gets in there faster than the Stuckers do.
Call 963-WELL for a free physician directory or go to Digital Channel 1400.
Point attempts here in the first half for Marquette. Golden Eagles lead by 5, 33-28. A shot at Bill Van Sennis, the 7-footer, actually the only 7-footer to ever play for IUPUI. Well, you and I thought he'd be seeing some action in this game. He hasn't been on the floor yet.
Well, he was a projected starter. I think perhaps Ron Hunter's thinking they want to go small, throw those 6'7" sophomores out there in Avery and Pettiford and let them battle with the quick, athletic big men from Marquette. You take a look at that breakdown, too, of the 2-point shots and the 3-point shots. Marquette 5 of 13. Not so bad. They've taken what IUPUI has given them, but they're 8 of 10 on the 2-point shots. Make that 9 of 11.
Yeah,
so
when they get shots like that underneath.
It's the efficiency of those 2-point shots which makes you think, get the ball inside. I'm sure that's what Tom Crean is talking about. We can take the 3, but let's get it inside first and see what happens.
McNeil now at 9. Marquette back to its largest lead of 7 here in the first half, 35-28, under 2 minutes to go. Floor now needs help. Patterson all alone for 3.
McNeil lost him.
Gary Patterson with 11. Hayward runs over Hill, but Hill's called for the blocking foul.
McNeil lost Patterson on that last play, and Tom Crean talked to us about McNeil and his chances of playing at the next level. He said he's got 3 things to work on: taking care of the ball. He led Marquette with 118 turnovers last year. Then he's got to work on his outside shot, and then off the ball defense. You see right there as he's going for the steal, he loses Patterson, gives up the 3-point shot. He's got to get more discipline off the ball. Tom Crean said he's the best on-ball defender he's ever coached, but off the ball he's got some ways to go.
James on the floor with McNeil, Barrow, Hayward, and Matthews. Hayward puts it down through the lane, throws it up, no shot. Well, what an aggressive move by Hayward to the bucket. Got the ball to go down, but the foul was called on the floor before the shot was taken.
Well, I'm not sure what Austin Montgomery was doing. He was supposed to be in sort of a triangle and 2 set in the middle of the lane. Instead, he was covering Barrow, a guy who, to this point, they've left wide open, and he gave up the lane for Hayward to take. That's a help side play there that he should have been there to stop Hayward. Instead, Hayward saw a wide open lane. 7-team
foul on IUPUI, 1-1 for Hayward. Sophomore from Buffalo, New York. It's the first. He'll shoot a second now. He has 6. Done a nice job off the bench. At 17 points in the exhibition over Northern State. Guy loves to attack off the dribble. And he showed us right there what he can do when he puts it on the floor. Makes both free throws, 60% from the free throw line a year ago. 6-point lead for Marquette. Patterson defended by McNeil. Waited for the screen. Over to Avery. Pettiford makes his move and draws the foul. The foul's on Hayward.
Marquette foul number 32, Lazar Hayward, first personal.
His first, team 3rd.
Boys, you watch IUPUI in their half-court sets. It just looks like they're not comfortable. Marquette is really getting into their comfort zone.
Patterson's 3-point attempt wouldn't go. We're under a minute here in the first half. James down the baseline, throws it up and in. Boy, that was pretty. Largest lead for Marquette. 8 now, 39-31. Ron Hunter wants a timeout. Diagram a final shot here in the first half. .28 seconds left in the first half. Marquette coming off a 24-10 campaign, 10-6 in the Big East. IUPUI was 15-15 a year ago, 7-7 in the Mid-Con Conference, which is now called the Summit League. Coming up on the schedule for the Golden Eagles, Utah Valley State. And then they're lucky. They go to Hawaii. Maui to be exact. Chaminade, and then the winner of the LSU-Oklahoma State game. I think Illinois is in that tournament, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And I'll be back here in Milwaukee to call the UW-Milwaukee game. Always a great crosstown rivalry between Marquette and Milwaukee.
A much anticipated game this city has waited for, and it should be packed. It should be a great atmosphere.
Will you be here?
I'll be here.
I know you're a hoop junkie. Even if you're not working, you'll be here.
Is it okay to say I might be having a beer in the stands somewhere watching that game? Okay, then that's what I'll say.
That's what I would expect. You know, Tom Crean will be here. 39-31. IUPUI will play for the last shot here in the first half. And they get it in Hill's hands.
They're going to want to work him off the ball screen.
He'll be in defending. Gamecock under 5.
Good defense.
Hill pulls up, takes the 3. Matthews lost his balance, and that's the end of the first half. A first half that saw UI jump out to a lead, but Marquette took over in the last 13-14 minutes. Golden Eagles lead by 8 at the break.
Whether you're working on a little project, putting on the finishing touches, or starting a new one altogether, Blaine's Farm and Fleet has what you need to get the job done. You'll love our huge selection of hardware, more than 1,400 sizes of nuts, bolts, and washers alone.
I actually drive past 2 hardware stores to get here. And
they've got everything I need here. Great value, name brands.
The hardware department at Farm and Fleet is the perfect place for do-it-yourselfers of all experience levels. You'll find the convenience and expertise of a hardware store at Blaine's low prices.
This is our hometown hardware store.
Okay, if a guy in Milwaukee needs a car, and there are, say, several dealers in the area, he knows exactly what he wants and can afford. What's the smartest way he could shop for his dream car? It's easy. It's Beep Beep. BeepBeep.com connects you with thousands of cars from reputable local dealers. BeepBeep.com, the fastest way to shop for cars.
Visit Mike Juneau's Buick Pontiac GMC on Capitol Drive in Brookfield.
Just $100 down scores a touchdown at Uptown. 2007 Ford Explorer XLTs with 4-wheel drive, 7-passenger seating, and 5-year warranties for just $19,995. And with $100 down, your payment's just $349 a month. So catch a 2007 Ford Explorer 4x4 for just $349 a month at Uptown Ford Lincoln Mercury, just 1 block south of Mayfair Mall. Come in now and get a free football SpongeBob with a test drive.
Marquette leads IUPUI 39-31. Coming up, don't change that channel. The top plays from last year's college basketball season here on ESPN+.
ESPNU Women's Basketball Invitational is coming to Tampa. This will be a doubleheader matchup you don't want to miss. Be there as top-ranked Duke takes on South Florida in Game 1. In Game 2, Tennessee will take on Oklahoma as the Lady Vols prepare to defend their national championship. The ESPNU Women's Basketball Invitational tips off at the St. Pete Times Forum on November 15th at 7 p.m. For tickets, call Ticketmaster at 813-287-8844.
Just $100 down scores a touchdown at Uptown. 2007 Ford Explorer XLTs with 4-wheel drive, 7-passenger seating, and 5-year warranties for just $19,995. And with $100 down, your payment's just $349 a month. So catch a 2007 Ford Explorer 4x4 for just $349 a month at Uptown Ford Lincoln Mercury, just 1 block south of Mayfair Mall. Come in now and get a free football SpongeBob with a test drive.
Whether you're working on a little project, putting on the finishing touches, or starting a new one altogether, Blaine's Farm & Fleet has what you need to get the job done. You'll love our huge selection of hardware, more than 1,400 sizes of nuts, bolts, and washers alone.
I actually drive past 2 hardware stores to get here. And
They've got everything I need here, great value, name brands.
The hardware department at Farm & Fleet is the perfect place for do-it-yourselfers of all experience levels. You'll find the convenience and expertise of a hardware store at Blaine's low prices.
This is our hometown hardware store.
At Don Jacobs Toyota, we have a huge sale going on right now. Fuel-efficient Toyotas are on sale, including brand new Camrys from just $199 a month, sporty Corollas for just $149 a month, even family-friendly Toyota Highlanders for $199 a month. Check out our great selection of new Toyotas starting at $149 a month. And remember, at Don Jacobs, you'll never have to wonder if you've paid too much. So come on down.
You never have to wonder if you paid too much.
IUPUI and Marquette at the Bradley Center. Tonight, the start of the regular season for these two teams. But before we completely move on from last season and close the book for good, let's look back one more time at the great moments from last season.
First time they have not ranked in 200 weeks.
He got punched in the face by Gerald Henderson.
With Eton trying to save it, flips it up, and it's going to go!
As the winningest coach in men's college basketball history. to Smith. Game winner on the way. Got it! And Louisville tops Marquette!
There is about as much emotion as I can recall for a national championship game. Oh my gosh, Brewer is down, writhing in pain on the baseline. Spins, hesitates, and jams! Rocking the rim, bringing it down hard. Pickpocketed by Brewer, down the lane. Oh, he climbed the ladder and threw down a sledgehammer. Oh, a big-time jam! We've said it before and we'll say it again. The Gators are national champions.
Yeah, Florida living the dream every team hopes to do this year in San Antonio. Coming up, we'll take a look at the first half highlights and run down half numbers after this on ESPN+.
There's only one utility vehicle that can do it all. Only one that can outrun. Only one that can outpull. Only one that can outride. And only one that can outwork every utility vehicle out there. Only Ranger. Hardest working, smoothest riding. Test drive one today at your local Polaris Ranger dealer.
Style, comfort, price. That's what you'll find at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. The wide variety of quality name brand clothing and footwear that can't be beat. From Norcross, Wells, Lamont, Walls, Lee, Key, Dickies, Levi's, Workin' Sport, Carhartt, and more. You'll find it all within our store. Comfortable clothing for whatever the mood. At Blaine's, you'll find the brands you trust, you'll love. The shoes that make the outfit, the jeans that fit just right. Because we know saving money never goes out of style.
Okay, if a guy in Milwaukee needs a car, and there are, say, several dealers in the area, he knows exactly what he wants and can afford. What's the smartest way he could shop for his dream car? It's easy. It's BeepBeep.com. BeepBeep.com connects you with thousands of cars from reputable local dealers. BeepBeep.com, the fastest way to shop for cars.
Visit Mike Juneau's Buick Pontiac GMC on Capitol Drive in Brookfield.
Just $100 down scores a touchdown at Uptown. 2007 Ford Explorer XLTs with 4-wheel drive, 7-passenger seating, and 5-year warranties for just $19,995. And with $100 down, your payment's just $349 a month. So catch a 2007 Ford Explorer 4x4, $349 a month at Uptown Ford Lincoln Mercury, just 1 block south of Mayfair Mall. Come in now and get a free football SpongeBob with a test drive.
In front by 8, 39-31 over IUPUI. Welcome back. Lou Canellis along with Mike Kelly. IUPUI felt good about its chances tonight, and why not? They're a team that feels they can win 20 games this season and contend for the conference title. And sure enough, I thought they did a nice job in the first 20 minutes.
I think what we saw, though, was over those 20 minutes, Marquette was able to throw so many guys, specifically Acker and Kubion, that really disrupted IUPUI, kept them out of rhythm in their offensive game, and that was the difference in the first half. That and Jarrell McNeil.
All right, let's look at the first half highlights here from the Bradley Center, and it all started with Jarrell McNeil.
Well, McNeil started to get it done on the inside. I like the way he got into the lane. You see him here with the putback that sort of got Marquette in that mode of going inside. He hit his only 3 of the night, and that was, again, off of that inside-outside combination against his own, spotting up, finding a spot. He was also able to get in the lane off of the inbounds pass, and then, as he always does, the reigning Big East Defensive Player of the Year gets disruptive on the defensive end and turns it into points. That's what he does best. He had a phenomenal first half.
Couple of steals for McNeil in the first half. He also led the way for Marquette with 9 points. Here are some of the other numbers in the first half. Marquette 15 of 25 from the field, but 5 of 13 from three-point range.
Yeah, and for IUPUI, no free throws taken. Everything from the perimeter out of their 3 guards. That was a difference.
39-31. Marquette in front over the Jaguars. Second half action comes your way right after this on ESPN+.
Listen up, people. I'm talking to you, fans, coaches, and players. It's been brought to my attention that not all of you have been displaying good sportsmanship. I simply will not tolerate taunting, name-calling, cursing, or any behavior that shows a lack of respect. I want you to act with class and dignity at all times. After all, kids do look up to you. You're role models. Up there and show them how it's done.
Man, you gotta love this place.
I know, they have everything we need.
Uh-huh, from circuit breakers
to coffee makers.
Okay, here we go. From mops
to gumdrops.
Okay, how about this one? From rope
to dish soap.
Good one. What's next?
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll find everything you need for your home, yard, and car. Great brands, awesome selection, friendly service, and low everyday prices.
Okay, from drills.
Right now, all new Toyotas are priced to sell at Don Jacobs Toyota at South 27th Street in Milwaukee. For award-winning service, parts, and a Toyota certified body shop, come to Milwaukee's only full-service Toyota dealership, Don Jacobs Toyota on South 27th Street. Whether you're looking for a new or used vehicle, service, or parts for your Toyota, we are here to serve you. And remember, at Don Jacobs, you'll never have to wonder if you've paid too much, so come on down.
Wonder if you paid too much.
Since 1913, the Hooper Corporation has been serving Wisconsin and neighboring states in a manner that few can match. While we don't generate the electricity that powers your lifestyle, we are the people our utility partners rely on to help get that energy to you. Hooper Power Division builds and maintains substations, transmission towers, and power lines. When disasters occur, our line technicians and tree trimmers are the special teams that assist our customers to re-energize communities. We're the Hooper Corporation. We're looking forward.
Last 6 season openers. They're trying to make it 7 in a row. They lead by 8 here at halftime, 39-31. Tonight's Big East Coaches Spotlight brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds. And let's take a closer look at Coach Tom Crean. 9th season in Eagles, 165-86, 7-1 in home openers with Marquette. What a job he has done.
And some great players that have come through the door. He's done a great job recruiting. Think about guys like Brian Wardle, Cordell Henry back in the day, and then you go on to Dwayne Wade, the one and only.
Leading scorers for IUPUI, Gary Peterson with 11, George Hill with 8. For Marquette, Terrell McNeil leading the way with 9, Lazar Hay. Let me go back to George Hill for a moment. Coach Ron Hunter told us they want Hill to shoot much more than he did in the exhibition game. He only took 6 shots in the first half.
Well, 6 shots in the first half, and he also had 4 turnovers and no assists. Not a great first half for George Hill.
James with the pick, lays it up and in. Nice start for the Golden Eagles.
More of the same, more of that pressure getting to IUPUI. They had 8 turnovers in the first half, and there's their first one in the second half.
And by the way, George Hill was scoreless the last 9:54 the first half. If IUPUI is going to pull off the upset, they need Hill to contribute. Montgomery's shot wouldn't fall. McNeil. Goes out of bounds. Tried to get it to James. Just skid it right by him.
Well, you can bet IUPUI is going to try to get the ball into the hands of Hill, get him in position to score. The problem is that can be your plan, but Marquette takes you out of your plan when they throw a guy like McNeil on you.
Patterson, he had 3 threes in the first half. Avery on the floor. Came off the bench. Started here in the second half. Hill splits defenders. Finds Avery down low, who lays it up and in. Nice feed from Hill.
Well, that's the way it's got to be done for George Hill. He's got to be able to put the ball on the floor. There's just too much pressure. If he's going to get it, it's going to be outside the three-point line. He's got to get it on the floor.
Hill played in only 5 games last year. Actually missed the season with a broken foot. So he did a lot of watching. And the foul. They call the foul on Hill. As we take a look at the replay. That could have been on Pettiford or Hill.
Yeah, it looked like Pettiford backed into him. If that was on Hill, that's his third.
Yeah. They can ill afford to lose him. Back to Hill. Again, he played only 5 games last year because of a broken foot, so he watched for the first time in his career. And what he noticed was he needs his team as much as they need him.
Exactly. Some people say he's got to be the one to make it happen. He likes to think if everybody else is doing their thing, that's how he's able to get his stuff going.
8-point lead for Marquette. First minute and a half here in the second half. Hill pulls up and knocks down the 2.
Back-to-back possessions now. Hill being very productive. First with the assist and then with the shot.
He has 10. The carry call on Dominic James. Point of emphasis for the referees going into this season. Palming carrying the basketball along with bench decorum. We'll be keeping an eye on the coaches more this year. Stay in the box.
So far, everyone's behaved, although Ron Hunter is very animated. Not that Tom Crean isn't. Both of these coaches were going to be tested early today.
Hill, down low to Avery, all alone. Pettiford hits the 2. IUPUI on a 6-love run.
I'll tell you what, the first 4 minutes of the second half, the crowd is still getting back into their seats.
A big block there by Avery as Barrow made his move to the bucket. Possession arrow in favor of Marquette.
Well, what I was saying there, outside of that first possession with the steal in the bucket, I always think those first 4 minutes out of halftime, there's very little home court advantage. Starting off the game, everybody's jacked up. But at halftime, everybody leave. They want to get their donut, or their nachos and their pretzel. And right now, Marquette's just a little flat.
James way off with the 3-point attempt, and Barrow walks with it. So it will go back to the Jaguars. Let's visit your keys to the game that we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Number 1, IUPUI wanted Marquette to shoot between 20 and 25 threes. Have they fallen into what IUPUI wanted, the Golden Eagles?
So far, it's worked. I mean, to an extent. I mean, Marquette does have the lead. They have gotten some good shots, but their three-pointers have been pretty wide open, uncontested shots. It's only a matter of time before Marquette starts to knock them down. But that was what Ron Hunter said he wanted to do.
Shot clock down to 10. Hill, basketball in his hands. Makes his move right around Fitzgerald. The fade away. Yes, sir. He now has a dozen. It's a 2-point game.
Timeout time, I think.
You called it. Nice shot, Coach Mike Kelly. Ron Hunter out of the box, and why not? He's ecstatic. IUPUI on an 8-0 run. They have cut the deficit to 2. 41-39. George Hill, their leading scorer, taking over.
At Michelin, our tires are rigorously tested. They're laser checked, X-rayed for structural integrity. And finally, no tire leaves the factory without a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, a better way forward.
I think this thing's broken. It won't slide.
I think you pull it. Yeah.
You can't always be smooth, but your beer should be. With a specially lined can to seal in the taste, Keystone Light is always smooth, even when you're not.
You know what? You should put a sign on that door.
What door?
The cooler door.
Oh!
Man, you gotta love this place.
I know, they have everything we need.
Uh-huh, from circuit breakers
to coffee makers.
Okay, here we go. From mops
to gumdrops.
Okay, how about this one? From rope
to dish soap.
Good one. What's next?
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll find everything you need for your home, yard, and car. Great brands, awesome selection, friendly service, and low everyday prices.
Okay, from drills.
What if you had the best cars in the country and were willing to stand behind them with the best warranty in all America? What if you had a fall sales drive featuring 400 new Hyundais? And what if your fall sales drive was loaded with rebates? Don't ask what if, ask why not. Think about it. The fall sales drive is on at Wisconsin's #1 Hyundai dealer, Mike Juneau's Aero Hyundai, Highway 100. 100 and Arthur.
Point lead, just 2. 41-39. And George Hill has taken over.
Well, George Hill responsible for 6 of the 8 points in that 8-point run. He scored 4 of them. He had an assist in the other. As you see him knocking down the outside shots, that's earlier in the first half. And in the second half, getting through, getting into the lane, hitting the buckets, and then creating for his teammates. You see his 12 points, 3 fouls, though. IUPUI stays in the zone, trying to keep him from picking up his 4th.
Marquette, the first 3:17 here in the second half. 2 points and now 4 turnovers. Hill with the feed to Pettiford, who lays it up and in. Wow, we're tied at 41.
Boy, hard to believe Marquette was dominating the second part of that first half. IUPUI has come out strong. Marquette a little flat. I mentioned not a lot of atmosphere right now in the Bradley Center, and it shows.
Matthews right around his defender.
Might have got away with a walk there.
I thought so. 6 points for Wesley Matthews. Marquette up 2.
At this point, anything to stop the bleeding for Marquette.
They did right there. Montgomery bodied. Hill all alone for 3. Boy, this guy's on fire. IUPUI back in front, 44-43. It's their first lead since the score was 14-13. Back in the first half.
IUPUI ball.
IUPUI ball. You called it. Turnover for Marquette. Ron Hunter smiling for good reason. Team leads by 1 at the Bradley Center.
Welcome to the new shape of fast. Introducing the new Pontiac G6 GXP Street Edition. Pontiac, designed for action.
Okay, listen up, people. I'm talking to you, fans, coaches, and players. It's been brought to my attention that not all of you have been displaying good sportsmanship. I simply will not tolerate taunting, name-calling, cursing, or any behavior that shows a lack of respect. I want you to act with class and at all times. After all, kids do look up to you. You're role models. Now let's get out there and show them how it's done.
Born in a land like no other, this is a dining experience 5,000 miles in the making. Sabor. Welcome to a world where earth meets water, flame meets air, and flavor is king. Sabor. The Brazilian churrascaria, where nature's most delicious offerings are just the beginning. Sabor. Meat roasted over open flame and served tableside by men revered for hospitality. Savor the flavor. The gauchos are waiting. At Sabor.
For one-stop shopping that can't be beat, check out the Home and Kitchen Department at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. You'll find value in every aisle. Economical furniture options for your family room, dining room, and home office. We'll help you outfit your kitchen with our huge selection of name-brand cookware, utensils, and small appliances. Storage solutions and organized for every room in your home. And don't forget, at Farm and Fleet, you know you'll always find value on the top brands you trust for everyday living. Home Basics from Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
We're at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. IUPUI against number 12, Marquette. My name is Luke Canellis. Mike Kelly's alongside. IUPUI in front for the first time since the 12:20 mark of the first half. 44-43 as we look at scoring by halves.
Well, you see IUPUI with a strong start to this second half. And as you mentioned, through the first 8 minutes, they were leading Marquette in that first half. So able to come out strong. Now the question is, can they continue throughout the rest of this game as Marquette continues with the pressure? We see Kubion's in the game now. We'll see Acker in a little bit. They'll continue to put the pressure on IUPUI. Can they handle it? Can they sustain this run?
Marquette with 5 turnovers in the first 4:28 of the second half here. What has IUPUI done differently defensively?
You know, not a whole lot. Marquette just get loose with the ball. It looks like they're playing with you know, a Vaseline cover basketball on their end. They've thrown it away a few times. It's gone through their hands. Just haven't been real strong with the ball. And then on the other side, playing defense against George Hill, no one's been able to do it. Right now, Kubion's the guy as McNeil goes to the bench.
George Hill again missed last season with a broken foot. He played in 5 games, averaged 15 points a game. Picked in the preseason as the Conference Player of the Year in the Summit League. So he's the leader for IUPUI. Gotten hot here in the second half.
Watch for Montgomery working against Matthews.
Hediford lost it going up.
Oh, that's Hill. That's 4.
Yeah, 4 fouls on George Hill as he fought with Kubion for the basketball.
Well, that is a big foul for IUPUI. He's going to have to come out of the game. Nobles is going to come in. Leroy Nobles. And he struggled in the first half with the pressure.
Yeah. Out of Louisville Central in Louisville, Kentucky. Same high school, by the way, that Muhammad Ali went to.
Of course. Who doesn't know that?
I didn't.
Well, let's see how Marquette responds now on the offensive end.
Kubion. Montgomery pulls down the miss.
You know, I mentioned on the last IUPUI possession to watch Montgomery. I really thought at that time, with Hill still in the game, that they were going to go away from him and try to get Montgomery going.
Patterson hits the shot. Boy, Patterson was terrific in the first half. He has 13 now. Had 3 threes in that first half. Led the way.
And he's a guy, you know, they throw around the word warrior all the time. He's a guy who played with a broken thumb through last season and a bad back last season and this season. Many weeks he doesn't even practice. He just plays in the game.
Matthews' shot wouldn't fall. Barrow down low. Lost it. Montgomery with the pick. 46-43. Jaguars in front. Hediford pulls up, in and out. Nobles is called for the foul. 13 foul on IUPUI. Mass substitutions for Marquette. McNeil, Fitzgerald, Acker, and Dwight Burke, who started for Marquette, all into the game.
And these are the matchups where we started to see the depth for Marquette take advantage in that first half. Acker in the game, Noble in the game for IUPUI. Stay in a 1-3-1 zone.
McNeil on the floor to the bucket. Wow. As it blocked, wanted a foul called. Burke had the basketball on the line, so we'll go to IUPUI.
I'm not quite sure how this is not a foul. I mean, pick one of the 3, but McNeil got hammered. I mean, that's not even close. I mean, I guess Montgomery got the ball, but that was after about 3 different fouls. But nonetheless, IUPUI's got it.
An opportunity to go up 5 or 6, knocked out of bounds. Will stay with IUPUI. 13-11 left to play, regulation time. Jaguars in front. Ron Hunter's squad tied for the regular season crown 2 years ago. To the Montgomery lays it up and in.
You know, I saw that ready to happen. Montgomery is being guarded by Acker, who's much smaller than him. Montgomery at 6'5", and he's got some good weight to him, and he just went straight to the basket.
Biggest lead, 5 for IUPUI. Actually, 6 was early on when it was 10-4. There's the foul you wanted. A little late.
Well, it's a foul Marquette fans wanted for sure, especially on the last play.
Foul is on Avery. 14 foul.
Well, matching up against the zone right now, what Marquette's trying to do is run Acker and Kubion on the baseline. They're trying to get some guard movement side to side and on the baselines. You look at that 17-2 IUPUI scoring run.
McNeil pulls up off the glass. McNeil with 11. Second team All Big East last year. Defensive Player of the Year. And there's that swarming Marquette defense that we saw at certain times in the first half. We haven't seen it throughout the game.
Well, you know what was interesting is I thought their defense got better as that first half went on. I thought they really picked up the pressure. And what we watched them do today in the shoot-around is they want to get in those passing lanes and deny the ball. And you see it there as McNeil makes life difficult for Montgomery on the wing.
Boy, you and I are fortunate we're able to attend the team shoot-arounds. There is not a more intense shoot-around than the one that Tom Crean and his staff put together with their Marquette Golden Eagles.
It was incredible, and we were shocked by it, and they were very crisp. It wasn't too laboring, but they worked very hard. And then we found out that was actually a shorter shoot-around than they normally do.
Patterson shot wouldn't fall. Marquette with a chance here to tie, or at least close within one. Kubian with a bucket, throws it up and in. Kubian taking matters into his own hands. More out of St. Benedict's High School, New Jersey, from Venezuela. Played on the Venezuelan national team this past summer. Showing some authority there.
No, I actually thought Kubian could have taken that three-point shot. I thought that was a good look, and when he went into the lane, being that he's undersized, I thought it might have been a poor decision. Instead, though, he stayed strong with the ball, and he's got a chance to get 3 points the hard way.
Third foul on Pettiford. Fifth team foul for IUPUI. Kubian makes the free throw. We're tied at 48. And that woke up the crowd here at the Bradley Center. Not a good thing if you're IUPUI, especially with your leading scorer, George Hill, on the bench, saddled with 4 fouls. Oh, Noble's walked with it. Well, the freshman's been out of sync all game long.
It's just a tough spot to be in if you're a freshman. Leroy Noble's out there giving a noble effort, pardon the pun. He's done a great job, but he's just had a hard care of the basketball. And as you mentioned, how long can Ron Hunter wait with Hill on the bench before he just says, you've got to go with it, Hill, don't pick up your fifth.
First turnover for IUPUI here in the second half. We're tied at 48. 12:08 left to play. Regulation time. As I said earlier, this team that Ron Hunter has tied for the regular season crown 2 years ago. They were the best team last year in the league until George Hill went down. He led the Jaguars to their first and only NCAA appearance back in 2003, and many feel that he might be able to pull it off again this year.
Well, he's done a great job with his team. He's got some real good talent in there. He's working with these guys, and you know what, at this point their depth just isn't there to probably compete on a regular basis, obviously, with a team like Marquette or a team in the Big East. But we've seen they can do it. They're in here, they're fighting. When they knock down shots and take care of the basketball, this is a very good basketball.
500 record or better over the last 6 seasons. He's really the face of IUPUI basketball. Last November signed a new 3-year contract extension.
Marquette's working Fitzgerald and McNeil inside.
That's McNeil with it on the floor, throws it away. Refs looking at each other, trying to make a call on who the ball went off of. Timeout. Tied at 48.
Opportunity doesn't knock. Opportunity waits. Waits for people with the knowledge, experience, and talent to locate it. At Oppenheimer Funds, our investment teams have been creating value by finding hidden investment opportunities for over 45 years. Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Carefully consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Call your advisor for a prospectus with this and other fund information. Read it carefully before investing.
If you want to make your hard-earned dollar go a whole lot farther, get ready. Advance Auto Parts has the low prices guaranteed to save you money. Get ready to get the best price possible on all the parts and accessories you need with our ready-to-go low price guarantee. Nobody can beat our prices on just about anything for your car. So when you want to get more for your money while getting more out of your car, get to Advance Auto Parts for our everyday ready-to-go low price guarantee.
This is the bank where everyday people go.
Stop in at any of our locations throughout
including our new locations in Brookfield and McWanago, and start growing your dreams today.
Waukesha State Bank, the bank of friendly service.
Man, you gotta love this place.
I know, they have everything we need.
Uh-huh, from circuit breakers
to coffee makers.
Okay, here we go. From mops
to gumdrops.
Okay, how about this one? From rope
to dish soap.
Good one. What's next?
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll find everything you need for your home, yard, and car. Great brands, awesome selection, friendly service, and low everyday prices.
Okay, from drills.
Already we've seen Michigan State, Ohio State, USC today, Kentucky so far this year. Boy, Marquette, might they be next? We're tied at 48. That guy, Ron Hunter, told us something at the team shoot-around today. What did he tell us?
Well, it was a very bold statement, but what he said was if we can get to that last 4-minute timeout and be within 5 points of Marquette, we're going to win. And that was his exact wording. He felt very confident about it. Of course, that's what you have to do if you're a coach of a small school. Get your kids believing, and he's got them believing right now.
McNeil believes in himself. That's why he put it on the floor, took it right to the hoop. Puts Marquette back on top, 50-48. And now the student section making noise here at the Bradley Center. Nobles harassed there by Kubian. Draws the foul.
Well,
boy, this is a baptism of fire for the freshmen.
We're getting back to that point where we saw it in the first half, where even when IUPUI is getting good stuff, everything looks frantic.
Marquette leads 50-48. 11:16 left to play, regulation time. We're at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Marquette, number 12 in the preseason poll, according to the ESPN USA Today poll. My name is Lou Canellis. Mike Kelly alongside. Teams even now from the floor. Nobles missed the first. Well, he needed that bucket.
As you said, a baptism by fire. He is out there. Marquette is putting all the pressure. There's like blood in the water when you get a freshman in a tough environment like this.
By the way, those were the first two free throw attempts for IUPUI in the game, and Kubian gets 3 back.
Well, and you see Ron Hunter there. He's going to George Hill. He's going to get him back into the game with about 10 minutes left. He can't wait any longer. Shot by Kubian, and Marquette is on the brink. They've got to stop him.
Rutherford throws it away. McNeil, the lead pass. Acker tracks it down.
Oh, wow, nice play.
Nice save. Ball will stay with Marquette. Here comes Hill. George Hill, leading scorer for IUPUI, back in the game. Saddled with 4 fouls. Hill with 15. Marquette on a 10-1 run. Hill left the game with his 4th foul at the 15-minute mark. Fitzgerald's 3 wouldn't go. Burke there, throws it back up and in.
Big second chance points from Burke.
6-point lead.
Oh, wow. Nice
McNeil
steal.
pokes it away. Oh, and loses it.
He was sizing. He's got a smile on his face. He was sizing up the dunk. He saw it coming. This is what he does well. On-ball defense and then shooting those passing lanes. Oh, what he wouldn't give to have that back.
Memories for you at Wisconsin. I remember seeing those
Shooting
highlight
it off
reels.
my knee. Thanks for that one. Well, I never was worried about dunking. I know that much.
You were terrific. I saw you break Illinois' heart way too many times. And others.
Well, IUPUI's got to get a good look here. It's been too many possessions for them. If they want to stay in this game, they got to stop the bleeding.
Hill looking for help, finds Avery, who takes the short jumper and hits from about 15 feet out. John Avery now with 6.
And the difference you see when Hill's got the ball, using that ball screen and then popping the screener for the shot.
Fitzgerald. He had a couple of threes to open the game. He's been silent since. Kubian making his move right around Montgomery. Throws it out of bounds. Tried to get it to Burke down low. 55-51. Marquette in front. Here comes Barrow back. James as well. Kubian and Burke to the bench.
A good idea by Kubian. He wanted to get in the lane. He put some nice moves on Montgomery. Just poor execution of the pass. Patterson's been quiet for IUPUI.
He had a big first half at 11. Pulls up there to the rim. Patterson called for the reach. 6th team foul.
I think they're going to give that to Montgomery.
You called it. They actually called it a Montgomery. Still the 6th team foul. First foul on Montgomery. Fitzgerald takes a seat. Tom Crean, Marquette's averaged over 20 wins a year under his direction. They want much, much more this year. Matthews. Barrow cleared the lane out for him. Ball will stay with Marquette.
Well, nice defensive possession for the Jaguars. Making life difficult for Marquette to find something inside. Marquette's doing a good job of not taking that first three that's available. They are inside with penetration, but there's just not a lot there. Good help by the bigs.
They took 13 threes in the first half, just 6 here in the second half. Acker walks with it. Turnovers have been a problem for Marquette here in the second half. They now have 15 in the game. 9 second half alone. IUPUI with a dozen giveaways. Connor, shot clock down to 7. Finds Montgomery all alone, and he buries the 3.
Wow, Montgomery,
off the screen.
He never stopped moving that whole time. Hill was trying to make something happen. They used the pick and roll, got the ball to Connor. Montgomery kept moving the whole time. Nice job finding the open spot.
Montgomery with 11.
Nobody high post. There's McNeil. He tries to find the high post.
Knocked away there by Pettiford. Timeout first. Marquette opened things up a little bit, but IUPUI has crept right back in this game.
Welcome to the new shape of fast. Introducing the new Pontiac G6 GXP Street Edition. Pontiac, designed for action.
When it's people who do the right thing, they call it being responsible. When it's a home insurance company, they call it Liberty Mutual. Responsibility. What's your policy? Liberty Mutual.
For quality Dickies casual and workwear clothing, take a trip to Blaine's Farm and Fleet. You'll find a wide selection of durable, dependable Dickies clothing for whatever the occasion. From work pants and shirts to denim jeans, sweatshirts, jackets, and more. You'll find it all within our store. Right now, during Dickies days, you'll find incredible values on Dickies jeans and outerwear. Men's Dickies regular fit, straight leg, pre-washed jeans are just $4.99 after $5 manufacturer mail-in rebate. That's right, a pair of jeans for just $4.99 after rebate. Save on the Dickies clothing you love only at Blaine's Fleet.
Just $100 down scores a touchdown at Uptown. 2007 Ford Explorer XLTs with 4-wheel drive, 7-passenger seating, and 5-year warranties for just $19,995. And with $100 down, your payment's just $349 a month. So catch a 2007 Ford Explorer 4x4 for just $349 a month at Uptown Ford Lincoln Mercury, just 1 block south of Mayfair Mall. Come in now and get a free football SpongeBob with a test drive.
IUPUI trail Marquette by 1, 55-54 here in the second half. Let's take a look now at our game-changing performance brought to you by Pontiac.
Well, Hill's got 15 points tonight, and on top of that, the assists have been a big thing that he's done. He's got great command of the basketball in their half-court sets. He's able to create for his teammates as well as himself. He has been the difference for IUPUI, allowing them to get back into this game. The confidence he has with the ball is what they need to handle this pressure.
He knows that if he's going to keep playing after his collegiate career, NBA overseas, he plays a point guard. Wes Matthews isn't a point guard. The shooting guard there, he has 9 as he hits the 3.
Big shot by Matthews. Perhaps the most improved Marquette player over the summer, shows his outside game.
Poked away the basketball there. Floor. Number 24, Gary Patterson. Foul is on Patterson. His first. Marquette in the bonus. 1-1 for Acker. Marquette, not a great free throw shooting team. 67% from the line a year ago.
Yeah, point of emphasis for their team, trying to get better at the line. Tom Crean said they've worked hard enough. He's not worried about it. He knows that once they get in the game, the Bradley Center more. They practice in the Alvin Blair Center. The more they play in here, the better they're going to get.
On the other side, IUPUI shot 75% from the free throw line as they give it up again a year ago, but they've only been to the stripe twice tonight.
They can't get there. Well, they're playing from the outside with their guards. That's been the problem. Pettiford threw the ball away there. This is going to be a key stretch for them before they get to that under 4-minute timeout. Can they keep Marquette within striking distance?
McNeil with 13. Barrow 6 rebounds off the bench.
Matthews working tough inside, trying to get position. Now he's trying to sneak behind the zone.
Kubian decides to take the 3. Barrow's going to be called for the push down low. Right in front of Coach Tom Crean. He doesn't say anything. First foul on Barrow, 14 foul.
First personal foul, 14 foul. Well, that's a spot where Barrow can really help this Marquette team. He's so much bigger than anybody IUPUI can throw at him. If he can get on that offensive glass and get some second chance opportunities, it's going to make life easier on the offensive end.
Barrow 6'10", 235 going up against Billy Pettiford, who's 6'7", 215. Good point, Mike. Peterson to Avery. Boy, Avery was wide open. He had Barrow coming at him, and Barrow with 35 blocks a year ago to lead Marquette. I think he was a bit intimidated, decided to step back instead of pulling up and shooting it. Montgomery takes the shot and misses.
Great defensive possession there. Nothing going for IUPUI. Hill didn't even get close to the ball.
Patterson with a shove. James will go to the line.
Well, with Marquette in the bonus right now, IUPUI's spot, especially when you got guys like Kubian and James and McNeil trying to get inside the lane with the dribble. You get a hand check call. It's sort of incidental contact, but it's a foul nonetheless, and now you send James to the line.
1-1 for James. Second foul on Patterson. Marquette now leads by 5. Dominique James, who tested the NBA waters before deciding to return to Marquette. And they're happy he did here in Milwaukee. James with 8 in this game, and it's a 6-point lead. Patterson had the shot partially blocked. Got it back. Back up with it. Blocked again, that time by Matthews.
Tip.
Went off IUPUI, will stay with Marquette.
Boy, Patterson just too small to get inside with the big guys. You see James there, not really a big guy, but when he jumps 40 inches off the ground, he looks pretty big. And then Barrow wasn't going to let him have a second chance opportunity for sure.
Kubian, McNeil, Matthews, James, and Barrow on the floor for Marquette. McNeil, tough shot, too. He has 15.
The hand right in his face. That is an ice-cold shot.
Blocking foul on the floor before the shot on James. 15 foul. First foul on James.
See James now getting called for those hand checks as everybody's trying to tighten up their defense down the stretch. We'll start sending people to the line pretty soon as Marquette or IUPUI gets into the bonus.
Marquette on a 7-0 run.
Take a look at Barrow ball hawking right now. IUPUI's got to send somebody to the basket like Montgomery right there.
They got it to Montgomery. Boy, he tried to throw it up and he drew the foul from Barrow.
Well, Barrow is so big guarding the ball on that inbounds play. He's like a big wall in front of you. Even the Marquette student section got a laugh out of the first one. But because of where he was positioned, he wasn't protecting the basket. That's why I said send someone to it. Montgomery saw exactly what I saw, and now he's going to get to the line.
Montgomery, a smart player. .75% from the line a year ago. It was much better. Set a school record from the free throw line. It was almost automatic at that line. 62-56. Marquette leads. 5:07 left. Timeout.
I say he was an 86% free throw shooter.
A little different than our graphic. But he set a school record.
School record at 75%. People weren't very impressed at all. What kind of free throw shooting team? I just time to get in the gym and practice.
Told our audience that it was a 75% shooting team. You know, Marquette had a tough go of it at the end of last season. They won just 3 of their last 9 games last year, and at the end of that season, no one game hurt more to lose than this one. February 17th of 2006 against Louisville. You remember that shot? I know you were here in the building.
I was actually at the working and just watching it, and I couldn't believe the shot that came down at the end of it. This was a great game, a hotly contested game, and Marquette was devastated to lose it. Of course, Jerry Smith, the guy who hit the shot, played at Tosa East High School here in Milwaukee, or in Wauwatosa, ended up going to Louisville, and he was ecstatic after that shot. Marquette loses McNeil for the last 4 games, and that led partially to that 3-6 record down the stretch.
Marquette was 24-10 overall, 10-6 in the Big East. They finished 5th, lost in the first round to Michigan State. Second year in a row they lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Prior season they lost to Alabama, and they don't want that to happen this year. I asked Coach Crean today, do you talk to the kids about that? And he said, no, they know what happened. It's all about the now with these guys.
You know, in the offseason, sure, talk about the fact that they haven't won a game in the NCAA tournament the last 2 years, 0-2. I know they worried about that in the offseason, but he said now it's time to focus on what they had to do today. That's in the past.
No, they opened 21-4, and there's that 9-game finish that I talked about. Just 3-6. The right way to go into the Big East tournament. The NCAA tournament. 6-point lead here, 62-56, under 5 to go.
See what Tom Crean drew up.
McNeil in the lane, throws it up and in. Boy, he does such a good job of putting it on the floor. I don't think he gets enough credit for breaking down defenses by putting it on the floor.
Well, he's a great slasher. What Coach Crean talked about is working on that outside shot, because right now he's got that mid-range game and getting to the basket. He can do that anytime.
McNeil with the ball, he has 17.
Well, now Marquette's going to start to take their time. I think that they actually wanted to get the ball to McNeil earlier. He was blocked, though, on the outside. Took him a few more seconds once they got it, though. He found the lane.
Hayward makes his way, throws it up and in. Lazar Hayward with 9, and now Marquette starting to pull away. They lead by 10. Under 4. Pettiford hits the 3. I spoke too soon. Pettiford with 11.
Well, Pettiford had IUPUI needed something. That was a big shot by Pettiford on the possession before that. Hayward goes from the top of the key all the way to the basket against a zone. I mean, that's something that can happen against man-to-man, but if you're playing zone, you can't let a guy drive all the way to the basket.
A guy who quietly has put together a nice game. Billy Pettiford, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists for a big guy.
Yeah, he's had a great game, and as we talked about last year, it took him a while to get going, and you see him starting off the season. 17 points in their exhibition game, 8 assists tonight.
Earlier, I talked about Trevor Mbakwe being lost for the season. You talked about Scott Christopherson, who had surgery today to repair the meniscus in his right knee. Tom Crean doesn't think he'll be lost for the season, but he'll be lost for a good portion of this year. That's a tough break for Marquette. 2 freshmen they really depended on.
Well, yeah, and Mbakwe is done for the season, and what we haven't seen today is Marquette get tested inside as much. You know, IUPUI has got Avery and Pettiford. They do a good job as 6'7" sophomores, but nonetheless, they don't have a true low post presence. We haven't seen Bill Vencenis yet, the 7-footer, and so as the season wears on, we'll see if that Mbakwe being out really affects Marquette.
Especially when they get into that Big East schedule.
Exactly.
Georgetown, Louisville.
Georgetown, exactly. That'll be one.
Roy Hibbert. James looking down low, shot clock under 10. Kubian takes the 3, 4 feet behind the line, and James tracks down the miss. Oh, wow. Got tied up there and bailed out. Montgomery called for the foul. We'll talk about it after a timeout. 66-59. Golden Eagles in front.
Relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin truck tires. Michelin, a better way forward.
For years, Farm & Fleet has been the place to count on for quality name brand tires at honest prices. With a huge selection of dependable Cooper products, you'll find the tires that are just right for your vehicle and your budget. Right now, buy a set of 4 Cooper CS4 Touring or ATR light truck radial tires and get a $100 gift card by mail. Cooper tires are designed and built to provide miles of excellent service, optimum ride comfort, sporty handling, and attractive styling. Blaine's Farm & Fleet, offering quality Cooper tires at fair low prices.
Tonight's ESPN Plus game has been brought to you by Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA. Marquette up 7, 66-59. Just over 3 minutes left to play here at the Bradley Center. IUPUI has played Marquette tough.
Well, it's worth mentioning that George Hill, after picking up his 4th foul, did come back into the game with about 10 minutes to go. He's played a full 7 minutes, hasn't picked up his 5th, but he hasn't been nearly as effective as he was coming out of halftime.
Hasn't scored.
He hasn't scored at all. So you have to wonder if that aggressiveness or just that layoff has affected his mentality on the offensive end.
Grabs the rebound there.
Big miss, front end.
Pettiford lost it there for a second. Gets it to Hill. Hill splits defenders and draws the foul.
Boy, what pressure defense. How many times have we seen IUPUI just trying to hand the ball off to somebody? They just can't seem to find an open passing lane.
17 foul. Foul was on Kubian, so Hill will go to the free throw line. 77% shooter from the line for his career. It's the shoot a second. He now has 16. Entered the season with 931 career points. He'll become the 18th player in IUPUI history to record 1,000 career points. He's the leader of this team. Next down 2.
A little pressure, 2-2-1 press on IUPUI. It's crunch time now, down 5. Under 3 minutes to play.
First ever meeting between these two teams. IUPUI has played here at the Bradley Center before as part of a tournament. Never against the Golden Eagles. McNeil looking for room. Bounce pass to Hayward, break into the bucket.
Great play by McNeil. Draws the defense and then dishes it off.
11 for Hayward. The assist to McNeil. It's his second. The third shot wouldn't go. McNeil, coast to coast. I
don't like that shot at all.
Tom Crean didn't either.
You're up 7 points, just over 2 minutes, and you've got the ball. That was a spot where McNeil could have pulled up.
Hill finds Avery all alone for the short jumper. At the front of the rim, Pettiford back up with it. And Pettiford will go to the line for 2.
Well, and that's why you want to pull the ball out. Just over 2 minutes to play. McNeil instead tries to force something, doesn't get it. And now you see on this end, this was a play that Pettiford, I thought, could have gone stronger to the basket and gotten a 3-point play. At 6'7", he's got the body to go up. That was Kubian who fouled him. But instead, he misses, and now he'll have to earn his 2 points at the stripe.
Timeout for Marquette. 68-61. Golden Eagles in front. Coming up for the Golden Eagles, Utah Valley State, and then they'll travel to Maui, where they'll take on Chaminade, the LSU Oklahoma State winner. And then at the end of the month, UW Milwaukee will battle the Golden Eagles.
The big change coming next year to the Big East, everyone in the Big East schedule, is that Big East tournament, which everyone's going to go to now. Not only 12 of the 16 teams, but all 16 teams. Tom Crean very excited about that.
Yeah, every coach, I assure you, in the Big East excited about that, because with 16 teams, to invite 12 and have 4 sit on the sidelines and not go to New York, boy, that's a coach killer.
Yeah, and what he said too is they have to get out there anyway for the banquet that they have, so they're going out there anyway. This is just a matter of going out a day earlier, ensuring that the teams get to go out there and play a game. The fans get to go out. It's a great place to be, the Big Apple. Good change, a move for the Big East Conference.
Balance in the Big East, unbelievable. Pettiford misses the first of 2. Pitt's predicted to finish 4th. Syracuse 10th. But really, I mean, how much better are the Panthers than the Orange?
Yeah.
Boy, Pettiford missed both free throws.
Big misses.
That's a coach killer.
Yeah,
that's killing Ron Hunter.
Well, you see they're going to extend now. 1-2-2, and they're going to trap out of this. They don't have to start fouling yet, but they don't have. This is the last possession where they can play for the steal.
Shot clock down to 7. Kubian all by himself, short. Patterson to Hill. Hill's foul by McNeil going to the bucket. George Hill will go back to the line. 68-61, 7-point game, 1:11 left.
Boy, we missed it just before that replay. James went for the steal. I thought that was a poor decision. This is a time where you got to make sure they play in front of you. You're up 7. You don't need to get the steal as much as you need to make sure they don't get a good look at a shot or get to the line.
And Hill's such a good free throw shooter.
Here's a look, and you see, I mean, this is a play that you try and take in the first half when, you know, the game isn't in the balance. But right there, James goes for it, misses it, and now Hill's able to get the line, as you mentioned, a great free throw shooter.
Now at 19. Back to the 5-point lead for Marquette.
They never sprung a trap last time. They just showed pressure. They were close to a trap. They never so. At this point, you can't foul. You're too far into it. Hayward's running the baseline.
Shot clock under 10. Matthews to Kubian, who finds James. McNeil there. Goes back up with it, and he draws the foul. Boy, McNeil is such a terrific rebounder. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. Marquette featuring the top 2 rebounding guards in the Big East in Matthews and McNeil. Matthews last year just over 5 boards a game. McNeil just under 5 boards a game. And there we see McNeil just showing his impressiveness going to the bucket.
Well, that's a killer for IUPUI as they got what they wanted. They played a long possession. Marquette took care of the ball. They got the miss, and then you give up the second chance opportunity.
Montgomery comes back. Nobles takes a seat.
We talked about Marquette team free throw shooting last year, only 66%. This is when it really matters down the stretch in a close game.
Really is still only a 2-possession game. 6-point lead.
Don't need a 3, but you got to get a quick look.
Pettiford draws the foul on Hayward. Boy, that's not what Tom Crean wanted.
No, that's not what you need. You don't want to stop the clock and give a chance to get to the line. Take a look at what happens here. I didn't see a whole lot. I guess hand checking was the call.
They called it on Matthews.
Yeah, they had to get it on Matthews, if anything. But that's not a Big East foul. That's a non-conference foul because there wasn't a whole lot there. The good news for Marquette, Pettiford is at the line, not their best free throw shooter.
Well, he missed 2 a moment ago, but he hits 1 there, now with a dozen.
All right, now IUPUI is going to have to foul no matter what happens here.
Ron Hunter wants a timeout. He'll discuss with his team. Says this may be his best team ever at IUPUI. Right now, they trail by 4, 69-65.
Well, Hill goes down 5 games into their last season, and that forces everybody to step it up. You've got a guy like Montgomery who comes on, has a great year, gets awarded the Newcomer of the Year accomplishment, or what do you want to say, and then you've got next to him Patterson, who's the runner-up. He only finishes like 4 votes behind Montgomery for the Newcomer of the Year. So they had guys step up last year. They struggled to get to 15 and 15, and what Ron Hunter said was, when you lose a guy, he said, you can win in our conference with one really good player. Hill was that guy. So they lose Hill 5 games into it. Now they need everybody else to step up. Guys do it, and Montgomery and Patterson, now they've got Hill back in the mix, and he really feels excited that this is a team that he can go a long ways with, and they've shown it here today. I mean, right now they're on the road against a Big East team, a top 15 team, and you know, it's a 4-point game.
I know it's a long season. IUPUI has been to the NCAA once in 2003. Does this look like a team that could go back to the tournament come March?
I'm confident saying yeah. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but their guard play is the difference. You have to have good guard play if you're going to win a conference tournament, and they have that. Well, if you don't get a steal quick, you got to get a foul. Ooh, that was a risky pass.
James is fouled there by Montgomery. Dominic James will go to the line.
They almost threw that ball away on that bounce pass.
James 2 for 3 from the line so far tonight. named to the preseason All Big East team. Knocks down the first. Here comes the freshman Ashworth. He replaces Avery. Ashworth, good three-point shooter. 10 off the bench in the exhibition game last week. Two possession ball game. Patterson is fouled by James.
Well, James can't believe it, but the bottom line is there's no reason to reach in. You've just got to stay in front. You're up 6. I mean, it looked like he got ball from where we sit, but it doesn't matter. You don't need a steal as much as you need a contested shot. And that reaching in is just a silly foul, putting them on the line and stopping the clock.
Patterson, a real good free throw shooter. Last 55%. His first free throw of the night. Patterson with 14. Noble's back. Haddiford, Patterson, Hill, Avery on the floor for IUPUI. Makes both free throws.
Got to get a quick foul.
Throw the ball to Matthews. Matthews to the other end. He's fouled by Patterson.
Well, Ron Hunter wanted his team to go for the steal, which, if it works, is great. You can get the steal on your end and get a quick bucket. But the danger is if they break it, everybody's up in the backcourt, and you get an open look.
Matthews back to the line. Leslie Matthews with 9 so far. He's in double figures. Scored in double figures, 14 of 16 Big East games a year ago. Had 16 in the exhibition. Misses the second.
Oh, wow.
Now they call a foul on Hayward.
Oh, wow.
And we'll go to the other end and shoot more free throws.
This is incredible.
That is not
been more
what Tom Crean wanted. He wants this one explained. But he bites his tongue. Let's see if we can get a look at that.
Yeah, let's see what happened here down low. It looked like Hayward put his hands on the hips of Pettiford, tried to go around him. Let's take a look down the bottom of your screen. You see him there. I mean, that's pretty standard down low stuff. It kind of moved out of the screen a little bit, and you could see, I mean, Hayward did, you know, put his hands on him to try and get around. But here we are again, the clock stopped, and IUPUI a chance to get some points on the board. Now they're down 5 due to the miss. If they can knock down 2 free throws, you almost have to play to get that steal and hopefully find a 3, because putting them on the line again and then going back and forth, you're running out of time.
Marquette picked to finish 3rd in the Big East by the coaches in the preseason. On the other side, IUPUI. Tied for the regular season crown 2 years ago. Best team last year, so George Hill went down. They're picked to finish at the top of the conference with Oral Roberts. The conference, by the way, called the Summit League, used to be the Mid-Continent Conference, and they changed their name, added 3 new members, helped replace Valparaiso, which affected to the Horizon League. Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, North Dakota State, and South Dakota State with 3 new members as Pettiford misses the first.
Big miss. Well, at this point, it's still got to be play for that steal, and if you don't get it, you've got to get the quickest foul you can possibly get. And they don't even bother with the steal, they just go for the foul.
McNeil will go back to the line.
Just running out of time.
8.6 left. 72-68. Neal has 18.